I'm Abby Ernest-Beck, and I read The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which was 318 pages long. So I don't really know where this book takes place, but it's set in the present time, and it's about a girl named Hazel who has cancer and is forced to go to this support group over the summer. So the storyline is Hazel Grace is a 16-year-old girl, and she has lung cancer, and her mom forced her to go to a support group with other kids who have cancer over the summer. And there she meets a boy named Augustus Waters, aka Gus, and they start spending more time together, and then they fall in love. It's kind of a love story, and so their relationship builds, and Hazel's worried that she's going to be what she calls like a time bomb or a grenade, because Gus is over his cancer, but Hazel is worried that she'll just die and break his heart or something like that. So she starts to pull away from him a little bit, but they end up just going for it anyway. But so they one time they were at Gus's house, and Hazel tells him about her favorite book called Imperial Fiction, and she gets Gus to read it. And in this book, the book cuts off right at the end because the person dies, and they really want to know how the book ended. So they decide that they're going to go to meet the author, Peter Van Houten, who lives in the Netherlands, and they're able to do this because Gus has this wish from a fictional foundation that sounds a lot like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So since he has cancer, he has his one wish, and he hasn't used it yet. Hazel already used hers to go to Disney, I think. So they go with Hazel, Gus, and Hazel's mom go to meet the author in the Netherlands, and while they're there, so they go meet the author, and he ends up like not being a very nice guy. They were hoping they could talk to him and get to meet him and stuff because they corresponded with him a little bit before they went there. He said he'd like to meet them, but he ends up not being open to them, not really wanting to talk to them. He kind of just blows them off as stupid teenagers. But they go out to dinner anyway and have a nice time, and then they come home. While they're in the Netherlands, Gus tells Hazel that his cancer actually didn't get better. His cancer has been getting worse and has spread throughout his body, so he does not have much longer to live. And so they go back, and Gus requests that all his friends have like a funeral for him while he's still alive, so he can hear what they're gonna say. So they do that, and then I think 8 days after they get back, something like that, Gus dies. And then the author of Imperial Fiction, Peter Van Houten, comes all the way to America to go to Gus's funeral, and Gus's best friend Isaac tells Hazel at the funeral that Gus had kind of written the ending to the book on his own. So she reads that and writes a reply to his letter, because he had written that letter to Peter Van Houten and then never sent it. And Hazel replies to that letter, and yeah, so it's a love story with a pretty sad ending. Let's see. So themes in this book. I guess make every moment last is a big theme. Like, it's important to to not hold back just because you're worried about the future. And in this book, John Green, one of the quotes that I got out of this is like, there's infinity is like not a measurable number, but there's different types of infinities. There's an infinity number of one. There's an infinity of numbers between 1 and 2. There's even a bigger infinity between 1 and 3, so I don't know, there's like different scales of infinity. But they made their infinity last. So I guess that was kind of a theme of the story. And let's see, so the 4 main characters, well, the main character was Hazel Grace, and then Augustus was also a main character. He actually used to be a baseball or basketball player, I don't remember, before I think he lost a leg. Now he has a fake leg. And then Isaac is Hazel's and Augustus's friend. He also has cancer, and he ended up going blind during the book. And then Peter Van Houten, I think that's how you say it, is the author of Imperial Fiction. He's the one that I went to go see. So yeah, it was a sad book, but it was a good book. I really enjoyed reading it. Yeah, it was a good book. I'd recommend it. Or maybe you already read it. I think you said you read it.